Hey, and what's going on, everybody? It's Steven here and welcome back to another Chinese smartphone review, and today we have here the MLace M7 Plus. As you may know, I did a review on the MLace M7, on the M-Star S700. Basically, M-Star is an OEM company for MLace, and MLace has now updated their phone, so the M7 to the M7 Plus with some advanced hardware. And at the time when the M7 was released, it was actually a pretty good phone, so I'm looking forward now to the M7 Plus, and I would say let's get directly started. Don't forget to check out the link down below in the description, because I've got it from gearbest.com, and currently it's very cheap on Gearbest for around 130 bucks. So let's go and let's have a closer look at the specs of this device. Alright guys, so here are the specs of the MLace M7 Plus. It's the updated version. That means it runs the MTK6753 64-bit octa-core clocked at 1.3 GHz. On the Gearbest website they say 1.5 GHz, but this is not really true. It comes with a 5.5-inch HD resolution display, nice colors, sharpness could be better, then 3 GB of RAM plus 16 GB of ROM with microSD card support. Android 5.1 straight out of the box, 5 megapixel front-facing shooter, 13 megapixel rear camera with the Sony IMX214. Quite old sensor, but still does a pretty good job. A 2800 mAh battery capacity is really correct. I can show you later my measurements, so the battery capacity is real, that's good. It comes as always with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS and fingerprint sensor, and all the frequencies you can find down below in the description, also with the 4G LTE band B20. So that are the specs, quite good for the low price currently of 140 bucks. Now before I'll show you the smartphone, just a quick look on what you can find inside of the box, so let's get started with the most important thing, the charger. And as you can see, it looks like some old generic Samsung Galaxy charger, absolutely nothing special, made out of plastic, very lightweight, USB port straight in, no gaps, but doesn't look like really good quality. Then here you can see the power socket connector, so that's the correct one for my country, no need to use an adapter. And here we can see the output, so really nothing special. The output is 5 volts, 1 amp, that equals 5 watts, and there is absolutely no quick charging. So charging the smartphone 2.5 hours, so it takes quite a while to charge it. Okay, then here you can see the USB cable, so micro USB, really nothing special. Then here we have a little sticker which shows your IMEI numbers and everything, so basically if you flash a different ROM or if you break your NVRAM, then you need that to restore your IMEI number, so make sure you don't lose the sticker. And here we have a manual, basically also nothing special. It's in English here, and so far as I can see it's not multi-language, but basically it tells you how to use the basic functions in Android, so yeah, quite useless. Okay, that's what you can find inside of the box, so just basic accessories, and now I would say let's have a closer look at the M7 Plus. Okay guys, now here's the MLace M7 Plus, and let me give you a quick introduction, so show you the phone here from all sides. Let's get started here with the front side, and here you can see the 5.5-inch HD resolution display. And honestly, I have to say the display looks really good. Now the DPI inside of the ROM, so the font, is very small, so it makes the display look very sharp actually. But if you have a look at the icons, then you can see it's HD resolution and not so sharp, but still very good. And an HD resolution display, you know, you have better frame rate instead of full HD with the same chipset, and also better battery lifetime. But I have to say, the sharpness is not the best, but if you have a look at the colors, then the colors are pretty impressive. So it seems to be some kind of good HD panel, because colors and viewing angles, this is really, really impressive. Now bezels on each side around 4mm, but well, it looks kinda okay because it's completely black. At the bottom we have capacitive touch buttons, and we have here the back button on the right side, on the left side the menu button. And here in the middle we have the Harlequin LED. That means it's a multicolor LED, which is also notification LED. But we also have one notification LED at the top. At the top we also have here light and proximity sensor, and in the middle we have the earpiece, all along with the 5 megapixel front-facing camera. So well, definitely the highlight, the display and the multicolor notification home button, as I will show you a bit later. Okay, now here's the backside, and the backside looks like the old MLace M7, but well, we have here the speaker at the bottom, as you can see. It's on the left side, it's a single speaker. Here we have the fingerprint scanner. Honestly, I don't like fingerprint scanners on the backside so much, but it works pretty good, and I will show you a little test later. Here we have the 13 megapixel rear camera with the Sony sensor, not really sure about that, but well, pictures look quite okay, as you will see later, and here the single LED flash. Okay, so all the buttons are here on the left side. So we have here the power button and the volume button, which is a single button. And I have to say, the buttons, they feel really good. As you can see, this is very responsive, and also the buttons are not sliding around, so not up and down, left and right, so they're really stiff and that feels good. Now the frame, if you check it out, it's a metal frame, and it's also in kind of thick metal frame, so way thicker than, for instance, on the Elephone P7000, and also it has a face and it's painted black. So it looks kind of nice and also has pretty good quality, so the phone is really stable. Now here at the bottom of the device we have a little hole, and that's the bottom microphone for doing calls, as always. Then here at the top of the frame we have the 3.5mm headphone jack. Honestly, I have to say it doesn't look so good. I mean, the phone is very slim, a little bit curved here on the back side, so just a little bit if you check this out, if you have a look here at the frame. And the 3.5mm headphone jack is not exactly here in the middle, so it goes a little bit into the back cover, and this here feels really rough and sharp, so the edge here doesn't feel so good. And here we have the micro USB port, as you can see. Now here on this side of the frame there's actually nothing, we just have here the slot to remove the back cover, and this is what I will do right now. So you can remove the back cover, this is really easy to do, just go in there with your fingernail and peel off the back cover, which fits pretty tight, and it's a plastic back cover without any antennas, so no NFC, no wireless charging. And here on the inside you can see the phone. So here we have the battery. As I've told you before, battery capacity absolutely real, and I will show you the measurements just in a second. Then here we have the serial number, and you see it's 2800 milliamp hours, blah blah blah. So here's a sticker under there with the IMEI numbers, so here you can also see your numbers in order if you just break your NVRAM and you want to restore it. And here at the bottom the speaker once again, here the LT antenna, so all the antennas are labeled. Here we have a micro SIM card slot, I'm currently using my nano SIM card with an adapter, one big sized, so normal sized SIM card slot, and here we have one micro SD card slot. Here the fingerprint scanner, well, and all the components we have seen before. So it supports 2 SIM cards and 1 micro SD card at the same time. Okay guys, now that's the phone here from the inside and from the outside, and I will now put everything back together. We'll just have a look at the battery measurements and the battery lifetime, put it on a scale, and after that we'll just boot it up to see how it performs in Android. Now here are my measurements of the battery capacity. The counter here says 2625 milliamp hours, but well, this is at 5 volts, so if we calculate that into watt hours, multiply it with the efficiency of 80-70%, something like that, we end up between 2800 and 2900 milliamp hours. So it's not really accurate, but I can definitely tell you the battery capacity is real and it's 2800 milliamp hours. The charger, it's the only bad thing, output 5 volts as I've said before with 1 amp, and that equals 5 watts, so there's no really quick charging, and the charging time is quite long with over 2 hours. Here's a Geekbench free battery test I did, and it survived almost 6 hours. And yeah, I had the display dimmed, but not completely dimmed, so it was like on 30%, and with that my SIM card in there connected to the internet with getting notifications, not too many, it survived around 6 hours. So more than 4 hours on-screen time is definitely not a problem here on the smartphone, and actually have to say it's kind of okay to get me through the day. Now, much more than a day is really not possible for me, so I tried it and I really had to recharge every day. But it really depends on your usage, so if you just check your smartphone not very often, probably 1.5 days, but yeah, I would say a day of usage is definitely okay. So let's quickly check out the weight of the smartphone here on my scale, and it's a 5.5 inch smartphone and weighs 164 grams. So well, for the build quality with the metal frame, kinda okay, so between 150 and 180 grams. So just some big phones with massive metal frame like the Yukitel weigh like 200 grams. So the weight is kinda okay for me, and for 5.5 inches really okay. So ladies and gentlemen, there we go, we're now here in Android 5.1 on the Emblaze M7 Plus, and if you have a look at the display you can see the font is very small, the icons too, and we have here some very high DPI settings which makes the display appear a little bit sharper, but actually it's just a 720p display. I mean, it looks absolutely nice, but you can see if you have a look at the icons that they're a little bit pixelated on the outer borders, but honestly I have to say the display is very okay for the price. So we can go here to the settings and about the phone, and here we can confirm that this here is Android version 5.1 Lollipop. Latest version, there was one wireless update so far when I unpacked the phone, so I can't guarantee you if you will see a lot of wireless updates in the future. But well, so far on my old Emblaze M7 I think I had 2 OTAs, but I can't really remember anymore. Alright, next thing, we have here Wi-Fi, and let's have a look at that. So I'm connected now to my home network, and I have to say Wi-Fi is not really the best on that smartphone. So usually I find the network of my neighbor, or also I tried to make a hotspot outside with my other smartphone and connect to it, and the range was like 30% less from my other smartphones I have here, like the OnePlus 2. So Wi-Fi is okay, but it's not really the best. Okay, we can have a look at Bluetooth too. I used it with my car, paired devices. My car is in the garage, so it's actually very near to that room here, so I can still connect here to my car. That's a pretty cool thing. And we also have here SIM cards data usage, but there is no NFC and there is also no hot NOT. That's the only bad thing. Here we have the display setting. As you can see, there is mirror vision inside to tweak the colors of your display, and we also have here the sensor recalibration for the G sensor and the proximity sensor. So if your display, for instance, stays black, then you can recalibrate the sensor in here. SView cover settings also in here, but I don't have any cover. Then here you can see the storage, and the good thing is it comes with one big partition. So we have here 11.84 gigabytes of usable space, and I have installed some games. So I have only right now 11 gigabytes usable right now, but this is quite a lot. So you will, when you unpack it, you will have around 12 gigabytes, so 11.8 gigabytes of usable space. My SD card, it's a 64 gigabyte SanDisk SD card, gets detected properly, so no worries, it works with 64 gigabyte SD cards, and MLace, I think they said 32, but 64 is not a problem at all. Here the Harlequin LED notification. So well, you can choose here when it should light up, so the LED working time, always 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and you can change the notification LED color. For instance, red, green, blue, yellow, cyan, white, or violet, so it's really multicolor and that looks absolutely nice. Here, for instance, for calls, you can have some red Harlequin LED, then you can change it here to anything you want to. Then for messages, you can have a different one, and also here you can change the button LED color. For instance, if you want to have a blue one, then this should actually then change to blue. As you can see, it's now blue, and you can change that to every color you want to. So it's a pretty cool thing, and it's something I really like. Because, for instance, on the Elephone P6000, it was only lighting up in blue, but here you can have, for instance, also a red home button. So this is a really cool thing. As you can see, it's now red. Okay, let's go back to the settings. That was the Harlequin LED, absolutely nice. Then here the battery. As I've told you before, battery lifetime is quite okay and you shouldn't have a problem to get through the day. Just have a look at the Geekbench battery benchmark. And here you can see apps running in the background, so let's have a look at that. And there we go. And here you can see that the system uses around 600 megabytes of the RAM, and you still have 2.3 gigabytes of free RAM. That means that's quite a lot for multitasking and games. So you can have a lot of apps in the RAM and you won't run out of RAM. Okay, then here we have the finger scanner, and I haven't registered a fingerprint yet, but we can do this here together. So I have actually deleted all my fingerprints, and I will put now my finger here on the fingerprint scanner. Oops, sorry. I just locked it. Alright guys, so I'm now using the fingerprint lock as an alternative to my normal lock screen, and we can now try it out. So the screen is now locked, and now you'll see please slide to unlock, so I can put in my code, or I will just put my finger here on the fingerprint scanner and boom, it's unlocked. So let's try it again, and yeah, if your fingers are not dirty and not wet or sweaty, then it recognizes your finger to 95%. But if your finger is somehow a little bit dirty, it's like 70-80%. But really, it helps a lot to register the same finger for 2 or 3 times. This can really help a lot. Alright guys, that's regarding the fingerprint, and works pretty good. We also have off-screen gestures, for instance double tap to wake up, which a lot of people like. First of all, you have to activate the gestures here. Then we have swipe up, launch camera, calculator, whatever you want to, so a lot of things in here. For sure, GPS, security, different accounts, and the ROM you get, it's multi-language. Now it's not the full Android language pack, so some small things are missing. So you see there's only German for Germany and Austria, so Switzerland, or some other things are missing, but always the translation is not really good. So here you can see the languages which are in here, and you can also check it out on their website. Okay, that's regarding the languages. We have here backup and reset and the usual stuff, so nothing interesting in here. Okay, then let's talk about the Android status bar. So as always, we have your notifications, and here we have the quick toggles. We have your quick toggles for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, for your data connection, airplane mode, auto rotation, torch, location-based services, cast screen, and audio profiles. Now, the LED flash we'll test it a little bit later. You can trigger it here from the quick toggles. That's pretty cool. Then regarding the signal quality, so I did a lot of 3G tests in the city, and it was actually pretty okay. Unfortunately, I don't have 4G, but I have got really good speeds on 3G. And also the call quality is okay, but the earpiece, it's not really the best quality, I have to say. But I had no problems with signal loss or whatever. Now, here you can hear the speaker, so that's the rear speaker. And the rear speaker is now on maximum volume. It's not the loudest one if you do calls, but the quality is quite okay, and it sounds a little bit crispy, but what do you expect from a $140 smartphone? Okay, that's regarding call quality. So earpiece quality, average, not really the best. A little bit, the volume is a little bit too low, but you can tweak that in the engineering settings, so you can boost it a little bit. Okay, then let's have a look here at the menu. So as always, we have a normal menu, normal launcher. This is very close to stock Android, and here you can see some applications which I have pre-installed, but by default it really just comes with the basic apps. And I would say let's get directly started and let's have a look at the camera application, because this is really one of the most important things. And for that I would suggest let's go outside and let's do a quick camera test here on the MLace M7 Plus. So guys, we're now here outside in my garden to do a quick camera test here on the MLace M7 Plus, and as you can see it's currently in 4:3 mode. In preview it looks a little bit blurry. On the computer in 4:3 pictures look okay, shoots with a 2.8 aperture, and in full screen they look a little bit blurry on the outer borders. Okay, so here on the left side you can see as always we have different modes. Then here we have the shutter. Shutter is a little bit slow, so it's okay, but takes quite a while. But the focus is actually quite fast, but makes this a strange sound. Okay, let's go here to the settings. It's currently in German, I'm pretty sorry for that, but also the translation here is really, really bad. So we have here image stabilization, which I can switch on. We have here, for instance, the picture size, which is on a maximum 13 megapixels, but you don't see a huge difference between 8 and 13. If you check it out on the computer, I have a couple of sample pictures from the same point of view. And here we can switch to full screen, and here you will see it will stay at 13 megapixels, but then it looks kind of blurry on the outer borders, so it doesn't look so good. Here we have video mode, and you can switch on or off the microphone, and you can set the video quality here to fine or high, which will keep on fine just for the test. Okay, then let's switch here to the front-facing camera. As you can see, it's really wide angle. It's absolutely no problem to get myself here in the picture. That's a good thing. The shutter here, it's okay, but also lags a little bit. And yeah, I like that it's really wide angle, but if you have a look at the colors, then they look really washed out. So for instance, the wood in the background, it looks way different in reality. So colors, they look a little bit boring and a bit washed out. Okay, so that's basically the camera application. It doesn't distort the picture, that's pretty good. And regarding the pictures, I would say check it out on chinadevices.com. The quality itself from the rear camera, it's just average, and the front-facing camera also nothing to be excited about, because the colors, they look kind of washed out. But as always, picture quality is in the eye of the beholder, so make sure you check it out, guys. Okay guys, now here's a quick back camera video test, and the video quality is set to fine, and let's go a little bit around. So the video quality looks okay, a little bit blurry on the outer borders, but the focus is working, so I can focus here on the houses in the background. As you can see, it darkens the whole picture, so also the lighting adjustment works here, and that is looking okay. Now regarding the colors, it's already a little bit dark, and the colors, they are looking okay, quite natural, could look a little bit more tasty. And let's have a look at some close-ups, because I was just filming here the OnePlus 2, and let's try to focus here on the phone. And you see that looks actually kind of good. Also here the sandstone pattern, so focusing here is no problem, and the focus is pretty fast. And here the macro distance, it's around 6 centimeters. After that you're not really able to focus anymore. But as you can see here, also the color tones, so the red of the OnePlus package looks quite okay, so I'm actually satisfied with the colors. Then now let's go quickly here inside and let's have a look at the performance in low light, and there we go. And there we go, LED flash is now on, and as you can see in low light the camera kind of sucks, everything is very blurry. Now close-ups, That's kind of okay because we have here enough light from the LED flash, but just check out here things in the background. Now on my Galaxy S6 Edge I could light up almost the whole room because the camera has a really nice aperture to catch a lot of light, and yeah, the LED flash is also a bit better. And as you can see, it really distorts the picture here in the darkness. Here, just have a look at that orange thing. If I move the camera, yeah, it looks kind of strange. So the camera doesn't really perform good in low light, but outside, we can quickly go outside again. It actually looks quite okay. Now guys, here's a quick front-facing camera test, and yeah, the lens is ultra-wide angle. It's really easy to get myself on the picture. I can even get almost my whole body on the picture if I hold it here like 60 centimeters away from my body. Yeah, lighting adjustment is okay, sharpness also okay. Color tone looks a little bit washed out, so not so tasty, just the green tones in the background. Looks also a little bit brown, so not too nice colors, but really nice wide angle. So if you want to take a group selfie, not the best quality, but you can easily get always the whole group on the picture, so that's pretty good. So I'm okay with the front-facing camera, but don't expect too much from it. So guys, I just had a look at the pictures on the computer, and well, the front-facing camera, now the colors sometimes, they look a little bit washed out, but the lens is really nice wide angle. Now well, the rear camera looks quite sharp in 16:9 and also in 4:3, so pictures look quite good. So here the sharpness, the details of the cars, you can check out the sample pictures on China devices, but sometimes it struggles a bit with finding the correct exposure, like some things are really overlighted or the lighting is not so good. But well, if you take a couple of shots, then there's at least one shot which looks kinda good. So rear camera, regarding the sharpness, very nice, shoots with a 2.8 aperture, but sometimes has a bit problems with finding the correct exposure and white balance. Okay, that's basically it regarding the camera, so so far so good. Then let's have a look here at the menu again. So as always we have the usual stuff. It comes with the Google Play Store pre-installed, also all the Google Framework stuff, Google Mail, Google Settings, Google Maps, and FM radio is also in there, but you need to use a headset, which was not included, at least in my package. Okay, here we have music player. Here you can see the Play Store, so this was also pre-installed, latest version. You just have to enter your account information and there you go. You can download all the apps, which you can also see here on my smartphone. Okay, that's basically it. So we just had a look here at the menu, at the basic functions. So far so good. Everything here works as it should. And now I would say let's do a quick LED flash test, speaker test, benchmarks, GPS test, and after all this you will hear my final conclusion about the smartphone. So as always, here's a quick speaker test, and I want to talk about the 3.5mm headphone jack quality. Now I've tested it with some in-ears, but also here with the big headset in the background, and it has no problem to power even the big drivers here from the headset. Really nice bass actually, and there is no distortion. So I'm really happy with the 3.5mm headphone jack quality. And here the integrated speaker, so the rear speaker, and there we go. And it could be way louder. It for sure depends with what type of media you feed the smartphone with. But also, regarding the clarity, it could be a little bit better. Now, I would say it's an average speaker, not really the best, but as always, you can tweak it with an equalizer and yeah, to find the perfect settings for yourself. But for sure, the rear speaker could be a little bit louder and also a little bit more bass because it sounds really flat. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, here's a quick LED flash test, and there we go, let's switch on the torch. It's a single LED flash and it's very white, so actually cool white, hurts in my eyes when I look into it, so it's really kind of strong for a single one. Lights up here the whole desk area from around 30 centimeters above it, and we can quickly go to the camera application and just take here a sample picture in the darkness, so complete darkness, so you can also see the shutter time when we do it. So let's switch on the LED flash, and there we go. And here you can see it. So it really takes a lot of time, and in low light the camera is really slow. So here you can see it, lights up here, close-ups pretty good, and I would say 50 centimeters are okay, but everything more than that, the LED flash is too weak, and also the camera is really slow. So you need to hold the device very steady until it focuses, and the shutter time, so it really takes a lot of time, but I would say it's quite okay for the price. So ladies and gentlemen, here's a quick GPS test in the GPS test application. Yeah, I'm driving here around at night to test GPS. Now weather conditions, the sky is pretty clear, but it's night so you can't see it. And we have here 21 satellites in view and 19 in use. So it's connected to a lot of satellites. The signal looks average, sometimes a little bit low, so below average. Here you can right now see not a lot of green bars, so many yellow bars, which is average signal, also a lot of those red or orange bars, which means not so good signal. Okay, but it finds A3D fix pretty fast. Then let's have a quick look at the Android's GPS test application, and there we go. So, okay, and here you can see that GLONASS is definitely supported. Also, you have seen before 21 satellites, so it really finds a lot. We have here currently 3 Russian ones. Usually I get more. Yeah, right now it's connected to 5. We have here 9 American satellites, and I can show you here the signal bars. So also here in Androids, the GPS signal looks okay, but not too good, because we have here a lot of those orange bars. Okay, but you see the accuracy is now stuck here with 3 meters, 17 out of 17 satellites connected, so it finds a fix pretty fast, locks down, and it doesn't lose the GPS signal, so that's pretty good. But now I want to do a real navigation test to see if it works pretty good, or if the GPS is actually kind of low. And there we go, my friends. Here's a quick GPS test in Cygic offline navigation. Pretty good application. Yesterday I tried Google Navigation on the smartphone. Was pretty okay. Rerouting performance is definitely better in Google Navigation than Cygic. But now let's take a wrong road, because I don't want to drive straight forward. So let's drive here to the left. And there we go. Let's see how long it takes to reroute, or if we can confuse the smartphone. And there we go. 5 seconds. Yeah, something like that, below 10 seconds. So rerouting performance is okay. Okay, you can now see here a road to the left. I will tell you when we exactly reach it. So regarding the accuracy of the GPS, and nope. So a little bit more. So it's always a little bit forward. Here you can see, right now it's to the left. So the accuracy is not really the best. In Google Navigation it also looks kind of different. But for basic navigation, also if we accelerate here a little bit faster, it's lagging sometimes a little bit behind, a little bit slow, but it's okay. So we're now driving here to the right, and there we go. So actually I'm now around the corner. Here we're already around the corner. But it does not lose the signal. Now it's not so accurate than other high-end smartphones, but for navigation you can definitely use it. So now to the right there's another road, and we passed it, so really it doesn't get stuck, or it doesn't show me off the road. Also if I drive faster, that's absolutely no problem. It can really also see the difference between the right and the left, even though they were very close together. So the GPS performance is okay. It's not the best I've seen on a China phone, but definitely working for daily use.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the benchmarks are finished, and here in the Antutu benchmark we score almost 36,000. So this is a pretty decent score for the MTK 6753, all along with 3 GB of RAM. In the ranking, we're here like 70% of the performance of a Galaxy Note 4, which is quite good. Here in the info we can see it's Android 5.1, full 64-bit support, and the MTK 6753, HD resolution display, blah blah blah, and here you can see it clocks from 300 up to 1300 MHz and has here a density of 320 dots per inch. Okay, here Geekbench, and here you can see a single core score of 611 and a multi-core score of almost 2800. Well, nothing too fancy here in Geekbench, but let's have a look at CPU-C. And here you can see that it clocks up to 1.3 GHz and not 1.5 as you see on the GearBest website. So this is not true. Alright, here device information, and here the usual stuff, but the screen size is here wrong. System info, it doesn't come pre-rooted, so if you want to root it, there are several tutorials online for this chipset and this particular device. Okay, ads. Here you can see the temperatures. I'm using the device actually the whole day. And here we have some of the highest temperatures, 48 degrees. So there is no overheating. The device gets a bit warm during gaming near the fingerprint scanner, but absolutely no overheating so far. Here you can see the sensors, and we'll just have a look at the sensors in SensorBox. And there we go. So the only thing I miss is in gyroscope. I don't care about temperature sensor and pressure sensor, you usually don't get them on cheap China phones, but a gyroscope would be nice, then it would be the perfect package. We have an accelerometer, light sensor, orientation sensor, proximity sensor, sound sensor, and a working magnetic field sensor. At least it shows us some pretty high value for the micro Teslas. Usually I have here 50, 60, but if I just put it near my computer, it goes up all the way to 200 micro Tesla. Okay guys, now the next thing is MTK engineering mode. So here we can go to the MTK settings and check out the band mode. So the second SIM card slot supports only GSM, so as you can see here, and the second one, which is the micro SIM card slot, here we can see that we have LT band 20 also in there, 731, and here we have quad band on WCDMA and also on GSM. Okay, so that are the frequencies, so if you're interested in that phone, make sure your provider uses the same frequencies. Here you can see that it is a 5-point capacitive touchscreen, which works pretty good. Absolutely no ghost touches here. And yeah, here's speed test. I did some speed tests here on 3G. So I currently only have 3G, but the maximum 3G is capable of here is 20-25 Mbits, and you see I reach it. So you shouldn't have a problem with 4G LTE. Also pretty good upload speeds for 3G of 5 Mbits. So this is even better than my home internet connection. Okay guys, now that were the benchmarks, and I would say now let's do a quick gaming test. Oh, last but not least, I forgot stage fright. And there we go, let's do the detection. And as you can see, always those two CVs, so it's vulnerable to stage fright. Well, as many China phones it is. Okay, Light Manager, by the way, the thing at the top where I say this is notification LED, I just thought it's an additional one, but this is not working. So everything is controlled over the Harlequin LED. I think on the old model there was here notification LED or something like that. I don't remember exactly. You can see that there is something. It's not a sensor, I think, because the sensor is actually here. But it looked like a notification LED, so I'm sorry for that, but you just have the Harlequin LED. Okay, then now let's do a quick gaming test here. Alright guys, so now let's talk about gaming. We are currently playing here Asphalt 8, and well, here you can see the 720p display. So the frame rate is okay. Sometimes there is a little bit of stuttering, same goes for Modern Combat 5, but well, it's a mid-range chipset, so the MTK6753 is only clocked at 1.3 GHz. I mean, it's an octa-core, it's quite powerful. You can play all those games, you also get 36K in Antutu, but sometimes there is a bit of stuttering in the games, depends on your background applications. But well, pretty solid performance, so for the casual gamer, absolutely no problem to play also the latest 3D games, Modern Combat, Riptide too, so whatever you want to play, you should be able to play it, even though there might be sometimes a little bit of some micro stuttering or a little bit less frame rates than on the high-end flagships like the OnePlus 2 or whatever. Okay, that's gaming, and so far so good for me. So ladies and gentlemen, we're now here at the end of this review, and here comes my final conclusion about the MLace M7 Plus. So well, it comes with a nice screen, great colors and viewing angles, sharpness is okay. Now the camera is also okay, sharp pictures, but sometimes it struggles a bit with the exposure. Something I've noticed, it only works good with the USB cable included, so I tested some USB cables from my Samsung and it was not detected by the computer. So somehow the length of the connector is a bit strange and uncommon, so probably it won't charge with other cables you have at home or won't be recognized by the computer. The Harlequin LED looks super awesome, and I really like that you can change the colors. Not really sure what that is at the top, but looks somehow like an old notification LED. The design is okay, backside looks a bit cheap. We have an okay battery lifetime, so around 6 hours in Geekbench, and well, it brings me through the day, so I have no problem so far, but it's not really the best battery lifetime. Quite good performance for a low-priced chipset like the MTK6753, but with 3GB of RAM you're also able to score 36K in Antutu, even though the gaming performance is sometimes a little bit laggy, so some micro-stuttering. The ROM is very clean, one big partition, something I absolutely like. The fingerprint scanner is okay, 70%, hit miss, 80%, so something like that. Only one SIM supports LTE, but I couldn't really test LTE, but the speeds on 3G were outstanding. Nice design, a little bit boring maybe on the backside as I've said. Android 5.1 straight out of the box without any bloatware, and we have native OTG support. So probably the worst parts are the camera and the speaker, but the camera is also quite okay regarding the sharpness, so you can check out the sample pictures on ChinaDevices.com.
Okay, that was my review of the Emlace M7 Plus. Definitely better than the normal M7, and the Harlequin LED is super nice right now. Okay, you can get it for a very cheap price of around 130 bucks from gearbest.com, so make sure you check out the link down below in the description if you're interested, and stay tuned for more reviews coming very soon. So thanks for watching guys, have a nice day and bye bye, see ya.